aqui.
Hello and welcome to the Wild Protea with myself, Clinton John. Thanks for joining me on this rather windy Friday afternoon here in Cape Town. Before I get started, guys, don't forget to like this video, don't forget to subscribe here on the YouTube channel, as well as the fairdigest.com, where I write weekly articles. This week's article is on, yes, the racist incident that happened in the Tottenham versus Chelsea game last week, Sunday, I believe. Some slightly more positive news on the racism front in football. So then straight into this week's episode of the Wild Protea. So as you know, I am gonna talk about the Proteas and what's happening there. Watching today, there was quite a nice interview with Graham Smith. The new interim CEO of Cricket South Africa, and in that interview he outlined sort of his role, his vision. He did say, he's still getting used to a lot of things, and he's not quite up to speed with everything quite yet. But from that interview, it sounds like he has the best interests of the Proteas at heart, and as well as cricket in general in South Africa. He did speak a lot about the pipeline, with regards to getting these young players through to the Protea setup, and as well as first strengthening that Protea setup. With the likes of Mark Boucher, Charles Langeveld, Jacques Callis, So he did say that was the most important thing at the moment, getting those guys in, getting the team playing right, so that future players want to come through and want to play for the Proteas. There was some discussions about cold pack players, AB de Villiers maybe returning, and a few other things. Graham did say that he's still getting his head around all of that, the legalities, why it's happening, why these players are leaving our shores to go play elsewhere. I think the main reason is finances at this point. These guys can earn double, maybe triple what they earn in South Africa playing for their franchise. So why not go abroad and feed your family? Hopefully we can find a compromise there somewhere. As far as bringing AB back, I'm not. For the World Cup I was all for it, but now I just think, with South Africa in a new rebuilding phase, do we really want to take that one step backwards to AB de Villiers again? Granted, AB is he's a great player. He's one of the greats for South Africa. He could have gone on and whatever, but he had a few injuries, and then he had some family time that he felt he was missing out on. So people say he left for the money for 2020 cricket, but I don't know, we'll never know. I just don't think, bringing AB back is the right move at this stage. I think before the World Cup, if you said to me, we're going to bring him back, for the World Cup, and then for the T20 World Cup, so we can win the tournaments and move on, perhaps then, but not now that we've kind of, broken ties with, not broken ties, we've lost a few experienced older heads, and I think now is the time that we need to start grooming the younger generation that's coming through to take over the mantle that was left behind. So I think that's all I have to say on that director of cricket role. So three main things that I took from that interview. One, Graham is just getting used to everything. Two, his priority number one right now is the Proteas. First and foremost, this summer, getting them playing well and getting them playing better cricket. He didn't necessarily say winning cricket, he just said, playing a better vibe. So it says a lot about what was happening before. And then three, the pipeline. So this is obviously pipeline, meaning franchise restructure, meaning under 19s, meaning school level cricket, meaning all those sorts of things, SAA. So like our SAA and our under 19 side have underperformed for a long time. And I think if we get those guys playing well, the pipeline can only benefit from that. So last week, or Monday, I did say we're going to do just a little bit of breakdown of the 2 days of cricket. Now, I must admit that I have been watching, but I haven't prepared as well for this podcast as I usually do. So it's a bit off the cuff, but I have watched enough to give you guys what I think so far. I think the toss was an important one. Them sending us in with their 5 seamers, I really thought that they were going to blast us, or they thought they were going to blast us away. I think that first innings didn't quite go according to plan for us. Quite a few soft dismissals. I think I'll go down the leg side. Aiden Markram also soft dismissal. Who else? Hamza was a soft dismissal. Only positive was the way that the cock played, although it was quite risky and quite streaky at times. So, but having said that, 284 on the board, runs on the board, and it looked like there was something in the pitch for the seamers, and that was definitely the case on day 2 as well. Vernon Philander coming through with an absolute masterclass once again. Why this man is retiring, I do not know. It looks like he could still go for another 2 or 3 years, but they say that everyone knows when it's time for them to hang up the boots, as they say. So he took, I think it was 4 for 16 in 14 overs, something ridiculous like that. Roberto got 3, and after lunch or after tea we ran through them quite nicely, and it was good to see the boys bowling with some venom and some fire. Arnold Nokia also chipping in with a couple of wickets there. So and then we've lost a bit too many wickets now in that last session of play. 4 down for 72, I believe we are, with a health lead of 175 though. So and Nokia at the crease, so we haven't sacrificed that one batter. So effectively maybe 72 for 3, with guys who can move the game forward still to come. Like Quinton de Kock, Wild Protea, Vernon Philander as well. So, Rassie van der Dussen is currently in. So I think, out of the 2 teams, I think, South Africa will be happier with their position at the moment. But I think we've just lost 2 more wickets than we would have liked. And I think that could hamper us going forward. If the English get on a roll tomorrow morning, then they could be chasing something as little as 250, 280. Now, they struggled to get to 200 in their first innings, but I doubt that's going to happen again, There was a couple of soft dismissals from the English as well, and I'm pretty sure that they'll try and correct that as well. As for the pitch, I don't know how much the pitch is playing a role in some of these dismissals. I think maybe it's more in the guys' heads that the pitch is going to do something, more than the actual pitch doing a lot. It is slightly going up and down, and there's quite a bit of lateral movement, but I mean that's the case in South African wickets. That's normally what you get. Hopefully tomorrow, Rassie and Nokia and Tkoni and Pretorius can come out. Hopefully get another 150, 200 runs on the board. I think 380 would be great. Giving them sort of 2 days to chase that. I don't think they'll get that, and I think if we manage to bat pretty much the whole day tomorrow, or right until the end of the last session or so, we'll get comfortably to around that 350 mark, and that should be the goal for the guys. And I don't see why. Yes, for the distance new, but he's been picked for a reason. That also Dwayne Pretorius, he's been picked for a reason. So hopefully these guys can put up their hands now, because the Algos, the Markrams and the Duplessis haven't so far, and they've had 2 goes at it. So hopefully the new guys can put up their hands and we can get some good runs on the board. Right, guys, that is pretty much all I have to say on cricket, South Africa and things like that, and the Proteas for today. Thanks for joining me once again. I hope you guys had a fantastic Christmas, and have and you have a great weekend. Also, guys, don't forget to join me on Monday. It's the last week of the NFL, the regular season, so we'll be having another look at that and the permutations involved there. Don't forget to like this video, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, both here on the YouTube channel as well as the fairdigest.com. Also, guys, get those comments in below. As you know, I'm trying to start this fan channel. I want to get a conversation going with you guys. Get to hear the voice of the fans and so on and so forth. Thanks for joining me. Have a lekker weekend, guys. Cheers.